Okay. Yeah, antakale, at the end of life. Cha, also. Mam, me. Eva, certainly. Smaran, remembering. Muktava, quitting. Kalevaram, the body. Ya, he who. Prayati, goes. Sah, saha, he. Madbhavam, my nature. Yati, achieves. Na, not. Asti, there is. Atra, here. Samsaya, doubt.
Okay. Shoel, can you read the translation?
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Oh, this there is no doubt.
Okay. There's a pretty small purport to this. So, Priya, you can, sorry, Lakshmi, you can read the purport.
In this verse, the importance of Krishna consciousness is stressed. Anyone who quits his body in Krishna consciousness is at once transferred to the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the purest of the pure. Therefore, anyone who is constantly Krishna conscious is also. Oh, sorry, where it? Uh, Therefore, anyone who is constantly Krishna consciousness is also the purest of the pure. The word Smaran, remembering, is important. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for the impure soul who has not practiced Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Therefore, one should practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning of life if one wants to achieve the success at the end of his life. The process of remembering Krishna is essential. Therefore, one should constantly, incessantly chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya has advised that one be as tolerant as a tree. Taturapi Sahi Suna. There may be so many impediments for a person who is chanting Hare Krishna. Nonetheless, tolerating all these impediments, one should continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that at the end of one's life, one can have the full benefit of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much. I'll do the Mangala Charan prayers, which we do before starting the class, which is offering respects to Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmitilam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु त्वयैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'll read the verse again. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayate samadbhavam yati nasti yatra samsaya. So important, we understand the meaning of what is actually given. Antakale. Anta means end. Kale means time. So at the end of time, and time over here means the end time of this you in this body. So at the which is basically death. At the end of your kal or the time that you're given in this life, mam eva smaran. What does mam eva smaran mean? Whoever remembers me. So at the time of death, whoever does smaran of me, whoever remembers me, muktva kalevaram. Muktva means quitting, being free. So in this sense, it's given when you're free from this body, when you quit this body, basically. Kalevaram is the body. Ya prayati sa madbhavam. So ya prayati means he gets what a prayati means. He goes and he gets what? Madbhavam. Mam Mad is all Krishna referring to himself. So Mam Eva, whoever remembers me, Mad Bhavam, he gets my nature. What is his nature? The transcendental nature of Krishna. Basically, the spiritual nature. Krishna is not material. Krishna is all spiritual. He's above material nature. So, one who remembers Krishna at Antakale, at the end of his life, he gets my nature. And if you have any doubt, Krishna clears this. Yati nasti atra samsaya, which means that for this, there is atra samsaya. There is absolutely no doubt. Samsaya is doubt. There is no doubt. Yati nasti atra samsaya. So what Krishna is saying is that at the end of your life, anta kale, maam eva smaran. Whoever remembers me at the end of the life, while quitting his body, muktva kalevaram, ya prayati sa madbhavam. He gets my body. He achieves my nature, my transcendental nature, and of this there is no doubt. So that is the meaning of this. Now I'll be honest. When I first read this, I said that, hey, this is nice. I can just remember Krishna at the time of death and I'll be free. I don't need to take up another body. I'll be liberated. Then why in the world am I doing all of this? Why am I chanting 16 rounds? Why am I, waking up early in the morning and, following so many principles, no meat eating, no intoxication? Why am I doing all of this stuff? Why am I reading the Gita like a crazy person? Why am I doing all of this? I can just, at the time of death, I can just say Hare Krishna and boof, I'm saved. I'm liberated. It's an easy way out. Why are these fools doing so much hard work? We might think like that, but what we don't realize is that it's actually not as simple as we think it is. How many times have we had this experience where for a moment we just something happens all of a sudden, right? Uh, we are just shocked. Our brain doesn't get enough time to think. In that situation, how many times are you really able to like focus your mind on a particular thing? It's almost impossible. Like for example, how many people have sat on a roller coaster? Anybody sat on a roller coaster before? Nobody sat in a roller coaster? Come on. Okay, Priya and Shoaib. When it goes up slowly, 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 that time you're like you don't know what to expect. And then all of a sudden and I don't know why do they do this. For some time they'll just put you in the top so you can just see your own tragedy for some time. They'll like torture you, they'll like freeze the roller coaster over there, and then all of a sudden it will fall down and you get like the blood rushing in your stomach and you're all in that moment when it suddenly falls down. Are you really able to focus on anything? Your mind just goes blank for 1 second. You're just trying to absorb what is going on for a second. Now, death is supposed to be very painful. Death is supposed to be equal, and it's given in our scriptures, equal to be bitten by 10,000 scorpions at the same time. Now, I don't know if anybody has been bitten by one scorpion, like even one scorpion, but I can assure you it's not a lot of fun. It's not a very enjoyable experience. Nobody goes out and finds scorpions to get bitten at. It's a very painful thing. So imagine being bitten by 10,000 scorpions, how painful that process is. And in such pain when the soul is because why is it painful? Because at that time the soul is leaving the body, it's forced out of. Right now we are so we have tied ourselves so tightly to this body, this false body, this false attachment that we have with this body. Everything we do in life is to please this body and the senses. Our false ego, all of them have actually tied us very tightly, but at the time of death we are forced out of it, and when we are forced out of it, then it is very painful to just all of a sudden leave that. And at that time it is very difficult to forget about you remembering Krishna, forget remembering anything. Whatever we remember at the end of a life is what we get. It's also given in our scriptures. If you what literally anything, whatever, wherever your consciousness is focused at the time of death, you get that. So that's what it said, for people who are in the mode of ignorance, who are always living like cats and dogs, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, just worrying about how can I please my next sense, or something like that. It's given that they literally achieve an animalistic body because their consciousness is stuck like that. And that is why it is very important that we must be, first of all, in Krishna consciousness. What does Krishna consciousness mean? Krishna consciousness is when we first diminish our own false ego. We realize that I'm not this body. I'm not these identities that I've put myself. I'm not Lakshmi, I'm not Priya, I'm not Megha, I'm not Shwel, I'm not Ayush, I'm not Samiksha. I'm not this person. I'm a soul. I'm just experiencing life through this instrument of this body. And in this experience, I have now started identifying myself with a lot of things. I identify myself with the body, my mind, and we have a tendency of being the controller. We want to control over material nature. In fact, the very reason we come to this world, this material world, is because we had this desire to be the controller. So Krishna creates this material world, and it's governed by the material energy, Maya, so that we get a false idea of enjoyment or control. Maya does what? Maya means illusion. Maya is covering our eyes. It doesn't let, it makes us think that we are in control, but in reality, we are always being controlled. I was reading this once. How many of you know about Hiranyakashipu, Narsinghadev? If you come to the temple after every arti, they sing Narsingha Arti. Namaste Narasingha. You guys know who Narsinghadev is, right? At least. So Narsinghadev, when he came to protect Prahlad Maharaj and kill Hiranyakashipu, Hira, it is given that he was allowing Hiranyakashipu to get free on and off. So like Narsinghadev was fighting with Hiranyakashipu, and he could have easily killed Hiranyakashipu in like half a second, but he played around with Hiranyakashipu a little bit. He held him tightly in his grip, and Hiranyakashipu was fighting with all his fury, all his life to get out of the grip. And at times he actually got out of the grip of Narsinghadev. And when he got out, he falsely started think, look at how powerful I am. I got out of the grip of Narsinghadev. He cannot defeat me. I am more powerful than him. He started getting all these false ideas, not realizing that it was Hiranyakashipu just playing around with him. Like if you've seen a cat playing with a mouse, a cat will never directly attack the mouse. The cat can just gobble the mouse in 1 second and go. But what does the cat do? It will put its paw on the mouse's tail, and the mouse will try to run, and then it will release its paw. So the mouse will run a little bit ahead, and the mouse will think, "Oh, look, I'm got free." And what does the cat do? It again. It goes a little ahead, again puts its paw on the tail. So the mouse is again trying to run, again it plays around with it and then finally eats it. So same way Hiranyakashipu was doing Narsinghadev was doing with Hiranyakashipu. He was temporarily letting him be free to give him this false idea that he's free, and then in reality he would again defeat him. So what we don't realize is we are actually the mouse and the cat is Maya. We think that we are the controller. We are under this illusion that, oh, look at me, look at how successful I am. I have this job, I have this family, my kids, I own this car, I have this clothes, I bought this. I have so and so position in society. I have so and so amount in my Commonwealth Bank. I have so and so partner. I have so and so, look at my possessions that I have. Look at my position in society. We have all these identities because what is actually happening is Maya Shakti or illusionary energy is giving us this. It's saying, okay, you think that you are enjoying, and just when you think you're in control, poof, again, you will come to know very quickly you're not in control. Actually, we are never in control. We are always being controlled. We are being controlled by the modes of material nature. Prakrite kriyamanani gunakarmani sarvasya ahankara vibhudatma karta ham iti manite. What is it saying? That prakrite kriyamanani is actually material nature who's controlling this world, who's actually controlling everything in life. But ahankara vibhudatma, we are so bewildered by our false ego that karta ham iti manite. We think that we are the doers. We don't know that we are actually being controlled by material nature. Everything that's happening is due to material nature. Now we are given free will. A lot of people ask, is life completely predestined, or do we have free will? We have free will, but it's to a very limited extent. We can make decisions, we can choose where we want to lead our desires. But once we have already fixed our desires, then it's material nature who cooks up the dishes and serves it to us in life. Whatever we desire, whatever mode of material nature we are in, whether it's ignorance, whether it's passion, whether it's goodness, based on that, then material nature provides us circumstances. But we are so foolish that we think that we are the controller in those circumstances, not realizing that actually it's we are being controlled by higher power. So my point being that it's not very simple to remember Krishna at the time of death, because we are so obsessed with being the controller that it takes us a lot of time to first realize that we are not in. It's a continuous circle. This life is a continuous circle of we thinking of being the controller, then Maya, slamming us down, and then again we think we are the controller, and again it's just a continuous loop. This is what's going on. Krishna is Ishvara Parma, Krishna Satchit Ananda. Huh? Krishna is the supreme controller. It's given over here. Ishvara Parma, he's the ultimate controller. He is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is all knowledgeable, all blissful and eternal. That is Krishna. And we are parts and parcels of Krishna. We are parts of Krishna. So naturally, we are not the controller. This very material energy, this very world, this very body, this very mind, this very family, everything that we've got in our life is actually given to us by Krishna. So in reality, we don't really have any control or power. But we constantly want to think that we are in control. So when we play this game of cat and mouse with Maya, then we are constantly bewildered. Maya is Krishna's Bahiranga Shakti. It is his external energy. And when we are sick and bewildered of it frustrates our plans in material nature. It frustrates our plans of being the controller. That's what Maya Shakti does. And when we are sick and tired of it, then we need to look towards the internal energy. What is Who is the actual controller here? Who is actually in charge of material nature? Hmm? We constantly want to be the controller. We don't want to see who is the controller. And when we realize who's the controller, then our job is actually to serve the controller, not to fight against the controller. So when we do this, because of constantly trying to be the controller, our mind is constantly preoccupied with a lot of distractions. It's constantly thinking. Right now, also, we'll see in a day we have so many thoughts, and most of the thoughts based on what mode of material nature you are in. If you're in passion, your mind will give you thoughts that, oh, how can I do this? How can I plan this? Okay, now I will go to work. Then after that, I'll go to GYG. I will order this. Then I will go here. I will put this much in my investment account. I will try to do that. I will take this. I'll do that. Constantly planning. Hmm? Or else, if you're in mode of ignorance, we are like, ah, again, I have to do this. Why am I doing this in the first place? Why do I have to do this chanting? What is the point of even chanting? Why can't I just, eh, why do I have to go to work today? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Depending on the mode of material nature that you're in, that's how your mind will be preoccupied. When we say Krishna consciousness, it's when we put Krishna as the center of our life. When we realize that Krishna is actually the supreme controller through knowledge, through association, through chanting, actually, chanting will also reveal that. Then we understand that Krishna is the supreme. And then we can truly focus our mind on Krishna. And what is the purpose of life? Why are we doing everything in life? It's because of love. Everybody wants love. The soul's natural position is to love. It wants love and wants to give love. And love is all giving, it's not taking. And when you love someone, you want to do things for them. You don't want to take things from them. That is lust if you want to take things from them. But love is very pure. Love means you want to do things for them. So when we actually build that love for Krishna, then we want to do things for them. Because right now we try to find love in the material world, but we don't realize that the so-called love that we have in this material world, whether it's things, whether it's our own identities, whether it's particular belief that we have, some sort of ism, socialism, capitalism, some side of position that we have, some side of activity that we do, some sort of material object, some sort of wealth that we have. When we try to find love in all of this, we try to find wholesomeness in all of this, or maybe another person, when we try to find wholesomeness in all of this, it is not actually, it's always going to leave you empty, because the material world is actually not for us to enjoy. It's for making us make us realize that this is not your place of enjoyment. You might think, why is Krishna so cruel? Why is he putting me through so much pain and suffering all day? But in reality, it is to make you realize that this is not your permanent position. This is not the place for enjoyment. You have to look beyond this to actually find. And the Krishna is the source of all love and all origin. So when we divert our love to Krishna, naturally, when you love something, if you love really going to the cinemas, your mind, intelligence, body, everything will be focused towards that. You will look up, you'll use your intelligence. Okay, I'll see in this theater. You'll start looking up at show timings. You'll start planning. You will physically use your body to go to the cinema hall. Your mind, body, intelligence, everything is used to direct you to the so-called point of love. Now, loving Krishna is actually doing that. What we don't realize is when we do it for material things, it's actually lust. And at the Kam Esha Krodha Esha, that when our lust is not satisfied, then we get angry. We get krodh, anger. And when it is satisfied, guess we are not really happy. We get greedy. So in material world, the so-called love that we are finding, the satisfaction, this happiness that we are finding, it only leads to lust, anger, and greed. These three things. But when we direct it to Krishna, Krishna is the source of all love, the source of all happiness. So it is like watering the plant right at the root. When we water the plant at the root, then the entire tree is satisfied. So when we satisfy Krishna, automatically all our needs are satisfied, and then we are fulfilled. We don't try to exploit material nature anymore. So this is the object of this is the reason why we focus on Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is putting Krishna as the center, and all our activities, our mind, our intelligence, our engagements, our body, everything is being used. The simplest way is by using our tongue, by chanting Hare Krishna. So love also means remembering. When you are traveling, like if you see a soldier in World War, when he's traveling, the only thing that, and there are actually letters of soldiers who write this, the only thing that actually gets them going, which actually motivates them to go to the war, and when they are traveling, months and months away from the family and everything, the only thing that keeps them going is knowing that they have somebody at back home who's actually remembering them. Otherwise, this life is meaningless. What is the point of just going fighting when there's nobody to care about you? They know that my wife is there, she's writing them letters, the family is there. Even right now, I think some of us might be international students. We may not have our parents or our family physically here. And then when we are away from them, it gives us a lot of happiness when we call them, we give them updates of our life. We know that it gives us that internal satisfaction that there is somebody for me. No? And ultimately, in this material world, there is nobody for you. Material world is just a series of bewilderments. You think that this is mine, this is mine, and at the end moment you realize nothing was yours in the first place. But Krishna is yours. Krishna is permanently yours. Sarvasya chaham hridisana vishto matasmriti jnanam apohanam cha. What does Krishna sing? Sarvasya chaham. In everybody's heart, I am there. Hridisana vishto. Where am I located? In the heart. Sarvasya, everybody's heart, I am located. Sarvasya chaham hridisana vishtu. So, and from me, mata smriti jnanam. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, knowledge, and apohanam, forgetfulness. When we change bodies, we don't remember. None of us remember what we were in the past life. Some of us don't even remember what we ate yesterday. So that forgetfulness also comes from Krishna, and the remembrance also comes from Krishna. So the only way we can remember Krishna is if we are constantly engaged daily, trying to remember him by chanting his name. When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then there is a very strong chance that at the time of death we are actually probably able to remember Krishna. Otherwise, what is the guarantee? When we go through painful situations, how many times do we really remember anything? We just focus, oh, why did this happen to me? Why did this situation come? Oh, why? How will I do this? We start crying about the things you have lost. Oh, I was like, supposing you have a car and it gets in an accident. Oh, my car, it got destroyed. Oh, what will I do? This, that. I worked so hard to use my money to buy my car, and now my car is destroyed. We cry over this. But how many times do we actually sit and think that it was never mine in the first place? It was Krishna's. It was God. Uh, we don't want to remember that. Even in times of distress, even in times of happiness, so forget about it. You will never remember Krishna in times of happiness. In distress, there's a small chance of remembering. So at the time of death, the only guarantee that we have that we might remember Krishna is when we incense, that's what's given, constantly, incessantly chant Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we chant that, then there is a good chance that we can remember Krishna. Because it's given in the processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam is hearing, right? Like we all are doing right now. We're hearing about the glories of Krishna, about the qualities of Krishna. Then is Kirtanam, when we are engaging our tongue, sound vibration for Krishna. And when we do this for a consistent while, then Vishnu Smaranam, then we remember Krishna. Then Krishna, we can meditate on Krishna's form. We can think of Krishna in times of distress, in times of happiness, in all aspects of our life. That is Krishna consciousness. That is really remembering Krishna. Now I'll give you a short story to give you justify my point. In the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a story of Gajendra. Gajendra was an elephant. He was not an ordinary elephant. He was a very, opulent elephant. He had good control in the forest. All the other animals really either were protected by him or feared him. They were like, okay, he was very, very strong, an absolutely strong elephant. And he was once with his family and he was enjoying in this beautiful forest, very, enchanting forest, fragrant flowers, beautiful trees. And when he was enjoying, he saw there was this very beautiful lake with lotus flowers and swans and everything. And he said, why don't I take a bath in the lake? And very happily he was walking and he went inside the lake and he started taking water. He started splashing it on himself. He saw his friends. He started splashing it on them, and he was just having a good time, completely absorbed and identified with the body and his false relations of the bodily relations. He was absorbed in that. He thought of himself to be the body, and he was trying to enjoy the body. But then all of a sudden, while he was having the perfect time, he suddenly felt a strong bite on his leg and he screamed in pain. And he looked down and he saw a crocodile, a big crocodile had bitten his leg. And Gajendra was a very powerful animal, Gajendra was a very strong elephant. But unfortunately for Gajendra, he was in the wrong territory. Water is the territory of crocodiles. So this crocodile, even though Gajendra was trying to retaliate and trying to get free, the crocodile was just not letting go and it was actually dragging Gajendra. Momentarily, Gajendra thought just like the mice and the cat. The Gajendra momentarily used to go out of the water and he used to think, I'm finally free. And no, the crocodile would drag him back in. And this would go on and go on. And Gajendra was in excruciating pain, absolutely tormented by this crocodile. And when this was going on, Gajendra realized after a point that he could not rely on himself anymore. All his efforts were completely frustrated by this crocodile. He wasn't able to do anything. And that time, because of his past life credits, in the past life, Gajendra was a great devotee of Krishna. And because of that, Krishna, like he said, Sarvasya Chaham Hridisana Vishnu Matasmariti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. When he, because of his past life devotional credit, he was actually able to remember Krishna. Why? Because Krishna in his heart gave him that remembrance. He made him remember that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He, because of his devotional service in the past life. And because of that, Gajendra was actually able to offer prayers to Krishna. He completely surrendered all these identities, identification with the body and the mind and his intelligence and all the relations he had. He surrendered all of that. And in complete mood of surrenderance, he in a humbly offered prayers to Krishna. And when that happened, Krishna was able to protect him. Krishna came and liberated him. Uh, Now, the point being, Krishna came and freed him, and he was not praying that save my body is in pain. He was saying, save my soul. My soul has been pained by birth after birth. There's one whole chapter on Gajendra Moksha where he offers beautiful prayers to Krishna. And in that, he says that how we become conditioned by material life and we forget Krishna. And this forgetfulness is actually the biggest tragedy in our life. Forgetting Krishna is the biggest tragedy in life. And the only way we can remember Krishna is not by knowledge, it's not by yoga, It's not by studying a lot of books. It's not by getting a lot of academic scholarships. The only way you can actually remember Krishna is by the mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, there's no chance. And why was Gajendra able to remember it? Because he had performed devotional service. He had chanted the names of the Lord. He had performed devotional service to the Lord. And all, even though the achievements we attain in this life, they're all temporary. A bachelor's degree, your particular job, your position in your job, the investments that you made, all of them will go at the time of death. You can't carry them. In the next life, you just continue from scratch. All your degrees and everything that you gained is just going to go. But what is permanent? That is devotional service. That is why this chanting is a permanent asset. Prabhupada says that, for example, in this life, you're not able to complete your Krishna consciousness. For some reason, you fall down. For some reason, you don't stick to it. You go the wrong way. Even then, there's no loss. Because in the next life, supposing you did 10% of Krishna consciousness, in the next life, you continue. You continue from 11%. So it's a permanent asset. And because of that asset that Gajendra had, Krishna revealed himself in the heart of Gajendra. And then Gajendra could realize that his actual protection would only be in just surrendering to the Lord. And that's why Lord Chaitanya has also said one should be more tolerant than a tree. Taror api sahishnuna. Because when we are more tolerant and when we are humble, in these moods, when we chant the name of the Lord, then we get the true benediction of the mantra. If we chant with some attitude, we chant with some false identification, or we chant just to as a ritualistic process, not understanding that this chanting is actually us, it should be done in a mode of surrenderance. It's like almost requesting that please diminish this false ego that is being causing so many miseries in my life, and just surrendering to Krishna in that mood. If you are not in that mood of being humble and being tolerant, then there are many there are many problems it will come. But even though there are so many impediments for a person who's chanting Hare Krishna, tolerating all these impediments, one should chant Hare Krishna. Right now, you might think, oh, I don't have enough time. Yeah, I have to go to work. I have to go to that. What do you mean, chant so many rounds? I don't even think that is actually effective. What am I really getting? I'm not enjoying it. You're saying that I'll get a blissful feeling. I'm not getting any blissful feeling. It's just I'm just saying a couple of words when I'm chanting. I'm not really getting anything. Or we might think that, oh, my family doesn't like when I chant Hare Krishna. There's so many issues. But that is why Prabhupada says that we should still continue. So that, and why should we continue? Why should we stick? Why should we focus on that consistency? So that at the end of one's life, one can have the full benefit of Krishna consciousness. And what is that? अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम या प्रयत्ति समद्भावम यति नास्ति अत्र संशया. That at the end of time, when we remember Krishna, we can then finally achieve the spiritual abode. This is given directly in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. Sorry, the screen just went down. And this is given directly by Krishna. He's saying that one who remembers me at the time of death, he can finally be liberated. People will try to give you all sorts of interpretations that, oh, actually, Krishna is not saying him, he's talking about the all evading consciousness or just merge into the existence and nonsense like that. But this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's not given, nobody, it's not a person's interpretation. It is exactly how Krishna said it. Krishna is directly telling you that if you remember him at the time of death, you will attain his nature. You will nature means what? His abode, his form. There are 5 types of liberation. One of the liberation is merging into existence, which is what the so-called Mayavadis or impersonalists who don't believe in a form of God, who practice meditation and on voidism, they, if they're able to be pious and at the end of life they can choose to be merged in, they can, if they're qualified, they can merge into the existence. That is one. Then I'll just complete this and then I'll get to your question. So the second one is when we attain the same form as the Lord. The third one is when we attain the same abode as the Lord. The fourth one is when we are a companion of the Lord. And the fifth one is when we have the qualities of the Lord. So these are the different types of liberation that one can get. And when we get this, that those are the different liberations. But we should not worry about the liberations. We should worry about if we can perform devotional service in this life. Our only worry should be if we can constantly chant the holy names of the Lord. And when we do that, then there is a very strong chance that we can remember Krishna at the time of death. Yes, Megha.
So, because I heard you saying that, like this was written by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So I'm just curious that who actually wrote Bhagavad Gita, and was it like a direct like recital of what like Krishna said to somebody and then it was written? Like how was that actually created and passed down?
So, Bhagavad Gita was directly spoken by Krishna and then it was passed by Parampara. So, if you see Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptir, that this knowledge has been passed down from disciplic succession. So, first, in fact, if you see 4.1, Krishna tells that I had given this instruction millions of years ago to Vivaswan. Vivaswan was the sun god at that time. Each planet has a particular demigod that's, that rules over it. So he had eventually first given this knowledge to the sun god Vivaswan. And then through disciplic succession, this knowledge is passed down. So the knowledge that Krishna has given, he's actually not just given it to Arjuna. Before that, he had given it to the sun god. So what happens is over time, this knowledge gets corrupted, the knowledge is lost, and then Krishna has to come back to Dharma Samsthapanataya, which means that Krishna comes back to this world again to re-establish the principles of religion. So Krishna had narrated the Bhagavad Gita. Sanjay had heard the Bhagavad Gita because he was given that blessing, and it was compiled by Ved Vyas. All the knowledge was compiled by Ved Vyas. So
Okay, yeah.
it's
So I just
directly.
tried to Google it. And then it said something about, yeah, Maharishi Ved Vyas. So that's the
Yes.
person that you're saying as well. So
Yeah.
basically, what you're saying is that it was directly recited, like spoken
Mhm.
by Krishna himself, and then this person, Ved Vyas, wrote it out. So
Yep.
that's what you're saying is directly from Krishna. Bhagavad Gita has been basically passed along.
Yeah, so the parampara system is very important. If we see, we are this particular movement is the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, which means that Krishna at first, the first entity in the universe was Brahma. When Brahma had evolved, Krishna had revealed the knowledge of Gita to him. The Gita is nothing but a compilation of the Vedas. Based on the circumstances and the times, it is modified, but the essence still remains the same. So Krishna had revealed this Gita to Brahma, and then
Is
we
that a
follow.
person?
Sorry?
Is that a person?
Yeah, Brahma is a position. So Brahma is actually a demigod that is in charge of creating the universe. So
Okay.
yeah, Krishna reveals the knowledge of the knowledge to create the universe to Brahma, who is actually a demigod who lives for like very extremely long years. Uh, like I can't even put it in a number. How long does Brahma live? So he lives extremely long, but Brahma is again a position. So in fact, Ghanshyam Prabhu also used to say, even one of us can be Brahma if we are qualified. The qualification I think is for 100 lifetimes. Then we need to have 100 pious lifetimes. So there are like bunch of qualifications. All the demigods actually, except for Lord Shiva, are actually positions that can be acquired by a jiva, which is a living entity. So living entity takes different bodies. So based on our actions, you can rather even get an ant's body or the body of Lord Brahma. But that is based on your qualifications and your actions. So Lord Brahma is an entity, living entity, who stays in the highest realm in the universe, which is called Brahma Loka, and he is in charge of creating the universe. So when Brahma was first came into the universe, Krishna revealed the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas to Brahma, and then as disciplic succession passed on, Brahma passed on this knowledge to his disciples. So it went to Narad Muni, and then Narad Muni's disciple is Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas is the compiler of all scriptures. So who is again Ved Vyas is again an incarnation of Krishna only, who had come to compile all the scriptures. So the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, everything is compiled by Ved Vyas. So, and then from Ved Vyas it passes down, it goes to through disciplic succession, it reaches Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, it again passes down from guru from disciple to disciple to disciple, and it goes to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because Krishna again and again reappears to re-establish the own thing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu re-established the same knowledge. He got it from his guru, he re-established it, even though he didn't really get the knowledge. It was his knowledge only, that it's like how do we say, the rain evaporates and falls back into the ocean only. So Lord Chaitanya is the ocean, and the rain that was dispersed, it evaporates and again falls back into the ocean. So Lord Chaitanya then passes on. So this sampradaya, this disciplic succession, is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So this knowledge is passed on from this disciplic succession. And Krishna says, actually, let me put it on
Then
the
how do you actually know if Krishna is coming back in different forms, like in different times,
yeah.
when things are like not going that good in the world, for example? Like, how do you actually know when that happens? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
for example, like this feels this sounds very abstract philosophical question, but anyway, the point is, like, how do you actually know that, okay, is Krishna there in the world right now? Because what if, like, he's taking another form to you know
Yeah.
spread religion? Like,
In
how
in
would
a
you actually know that?
Yeah, in our scriptures, it's given two things. In Kali Yuga, in this present age, two things we should not try to count. The first is the amount of mistakes that jivas or living entities make. Because in the Kali Yuga, it's the age of mistakes. Every one of us will make millions of mistakes. Just in today, within like just in today's time, if we see, we have made so many mistakes. So two things we should not count. First is mistakes, and the second is the amount of incarnations that Krishna takes. So Krishna not necessarily will come in the form of in a direct incarnation, like a Leela avatar, which is Lord Chaitanya or anything like that. Krishna can come in other incarnations also. Krishna comes in his Granth avatar, which is the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna comes as the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is not different from Krishna actually. So Krishna can come in any form. Krishna is completely free to do anything and everything. So in our scriptures now, if we talk about the particular incarnation, it is like a particular form. It's given that he comes. Let me try to remember the verse. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata adharmasya. Uh, I'm confused on that. अधर्मस्य अभियुक्ता हाँ यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभियुक्तानाम अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् साधु पवित्रनाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Try to look up this verse. It's in the fourth chapter only. Pavitranaya sadhunam or yada yada hi dharmasya. It's the next one is Pavitranaya sadhunam, where Krishna gives reasons as to why he incarnates in this world, why he reappears in this world. So he says that yada yada hi dharmasya. First find the verse, then I will explain the meaning. Whoever finds it can read it. Yada yada hi dharmasya. This is actually very popular. If you've seen the TV serial Mahabharat, it's like the entry song to it. Yada yada hi dharmasya glane bhavati bharata. Anybody found it?
Yeah, 4.7.
4.7. Yeah. Can you read the translation?
7. Yada yada hi dharmasya ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अधर्मस्य
अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्य अहम्.
yeah. What's the translation?
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
Yada yada hi dharmasya. Wherever there is decline in religious practice, abhyuttanam dharmasya, an increase of irreligion, tadatmanam shrajamyaham. Shrajami means I manifest myself. Tadatmanam means at that time I manifest myself. Tadatmanam shrajamyaham. And if you read 4.8, just read the translation. Mega, you read the translation 4.8.
Okay, this supreme. Oh, sorry. Wait. Yeah, it's the one on screen, right?
No, no, no. Priya, read 4.8, the
I don't
next
have
one.
it open. I
Okay,
just am
okay, no
following
worries.
your screen.
To
Then this is
deliver
the
the
wrong one.
pious and to annihilate the miscreant, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium.
Um, Pavitranaya sadhunam, for deliverance of the devotees. Vinashaya cha duskritam, for destroying the dushkrita, the miscreants, the wrongdoers, irreligious people. Dharmasya samsthapanataya, to re-establish religion. Shambhavami yuge yuge, I appear millennium after millennium. So every incarnation of Krishna, if we see, is doing all these four things. First, he is trying. The first thing he says is, "I protect my devotees, people who are religious and pious and who are devoted to me. I protect them. Vinashaya cha duskritam. I destroy the miscreants, the evils in society. Dharma samsthapanatha. Then I re-establish religion and Sambhavami Yuga Yuga. That is why I appear every millennium." So if we see just why Krishna appeared in the world at the time during Mahabharata, what did he do? Pavitranaya sadhunam. First, he protected his devotees for deliverance of his devotees, the Pandavas. He came to protect the devotees. If we read the Mahabharata, he's doing that. He's protecting the Pandavas. He's giving reassurance to Kunti Maharani, to Draupadi. He protects him. When Draupadi is being mistreated in the court, Krishna helps her. He protects her. Vinashaya cha duskritam. There were so many millions of soldiers who died in the Mahabharata that literally the soil became red in color. There were like rivers of blood and body parts flowing. It was that gruesome. Why? Because Krishna wanted to absolutely erase the world of all evil kings. At that time, there was an increase in the number of evil kings that had come in society. There were the Kauravas who were, irreligious and completely doing things which were immoral, and a king. So there is one more verse. Let me try to remember. Mm, my mind is going like blank just when I'm trying to remember it. What is it? Uh, that I think I know the translation. I'll just try to remember the verse and I'll tell you. It's like what great people do, other people follow. Let me actually just give me a second. I'll look it up. I remember I like the verse is not coming directly to my mind. Uh, what? Just give me a second. What was the? I think it is 3.21. Can you have a look at 3.21? Let me just check. यद यद आचरिति श्रेष्ठास् तत् तत् एव तरो जना. Look up that one. Yad yad achariti shreshthas.
यद् यद् आचरति श्रेष्ठः तत् तत् एवेतरो जनः
Sayat
स यत् प्रमाण
pramanam kurute
कुरुते लोकस्त
mam
तनु
anuvartate.
तनुवर्तते.
Read the translation.
Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and
Ye-
whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues.
Yes.
Or,
So,
yeah.
So what great men do, others follow. They look at their actions and do. So at that time, the kings were actually becoming irreligious and impious. Like we literally see in the Mahabharata, they were getting a royal queen and they were trying to strip her, and they were irreligious. They were not following any morals or conduct. They were not giving the rightful throne to the rightful heirs. They were trying to cheat and deceit. So much evil. And at that time, there was a rise in irreligiosity. So that time, Krishna incarnated to rid the world of evil, and then through Bhagavad Gita he did dharma samsthapanarthaya. He re-established the principles of religion so that we know what is the correct religion. That is the main reason why he came. Huh? Abhiyuttanam adharmasya. Whenever there is rise of irreligiousness, tadatmanam srijamyam. I then appear. And then he's giving. So any incarnation. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come? Because even the Gita over a period of time, it's like Chinese whispers. How many has anybody played Chinese whispers in school? So in Chinese whispers, what happens is people are sitting in a row and it will initially start with some message. You'll say it in the other person's ear. And by the time it goes to the end, you'll notice that the message has been completely changed. The person hears something else. So this is what happens with knowledge also. Krishna gives you the Bhagavad Gita, and then over a period of time, the entire essence of Bhagavad Gita, the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is lost. People start making their own interpretations, trying to give their own ideas and own philosophy, not understanding the actual meaning of it. Then Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because at that time there were people who were just blindly using mental, philosophical, dry philosophy. That was what's going on in the name of religion. Just dry philosophical speculations, making this commentary on the Vedanta, that commentary on the Vedanta, without actually understanding why the Vedas were written in the first place. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He not only destroyed these people who were giving wrong philosophy, he re-established the correct philosophy. That the entire point of the Vedas is actually to understand Krishna, to build loving devotional service to Krishna, because devotional service is the permanent answer. Vedescha, how does that go? Vede Sarvasya chaham ridisana vishtu matasmriti jnanam apohanam cha Vedescha sarver aham eva vedo Vedanta krit veda vid eva chaham Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo, means Vedescha sarver, out of all, I'm the purpose, I'm the point or the objective of all the Vedas. And I've also written the Vedas as Ved Vyas. He's the compiler of Vedas, and he's also the knower of the Vedas. So Krishna is giving his position. So the entire point of Bhagavad Gita and entire point of all these scriptures is to make us understand that the essential thing is the Bhagavad Gita can actually be compiled when Krishna says, in 18.66, Priya read 18.66. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुच. Read the translation just.
So, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear.
This is said to be the direct message. If you want to describe Bhagavad Gita in one verse, this is the verse 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, all these methods that you have to, that you think is correct, abandon all of them. Simply surrender unto me. Sarva dharman parityaje, all types of religion, parityaje, tyag it, give it up. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Mam means me. Ekam, me alone. You surrender unto me. You take my shelter. I will free you from all the sinful reactions. Aham tvam sarva papebo mokshashyami masucha, and I will give you liberation. So that is the point. So this message over point gets lost. Even today we'll see there are so many different commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, but the entire essence, the entire objective is defeated when we don't understand that the purpose is when of Krishna giving us to make us realize that ultimately our only benediction is in surrenderance to Krishna. When we surrender to Krishna and we perform devotional, loving devotional service to Krishna, when we understand that Our position is loving Krishna. That is the relationship that we have, loving Krishna and getting love back. That is the eternal position of all souls, because the origin of all souls is Krishna. So when we understand that, then that is the true essence of religion. Not that religion is some sort of tradition that you do. Oh, I am Hindu, so I'll take a incense stick and you just put it in front of some picture, or I'll put a very big tilak on my. All that is good, but what is the point of doing that? What are you actually trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve by reading all the religion? Prabhupada said that we are not a religion, we are not a sectarian movement. One Christian guy said that, Prabhupada, I actually appreciate your movement, but I want to stay Christian. He said, I'm never telling you to convert. You stay Christian. We are teaching you how to be better Christians. Because if Christianity is not teaching you how to love God better, then you have not understood the meaning of religion in the first place. Then you're not religious. The entire point of religion should be to teach you, to make you understand how to love God better and serve God better. That is the purpose of everything. So Krishna is saying, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. And how do we surrender unto me? That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and gives us. He realizes that people in Kali Yuga don't have the capability to understand what these scriptures are, what are these complex Vedantas and all that. Half the people don't even know what Vedantas are. The need for sense gratification will increase, the distractions will increase, and today we have so many distractions via social media and all that. In such environment, no, it's not possible for anybody to sit and read scriptures and understand Vedas and perform religious activities and all. So he simply said, you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That was the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us that mercy, that simply by doing this, one can over point of time be free from material contamination and eventually get in his original ecstatic pure state of loving devotional service to the Lord. And devotional service is the only thing that you're going to carry after death. This name, this chanting of Hare Krishna is the only thing that is a permanent asset that you're going to carry even in the next life. You think even if you chant like it's given, even if one chants Hare Krishna sarcastically, oh, what is all this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare that you guys do all the time? It's nonsense. Even if somebody mocks it, even if somebody says it, even then they're getting benefit. That's how powerful the names of Krishna is. So Krishna, the Lord Chaitanya has given immense mercy to us by giving us the holy names and giving us that mercy in the form of holy names, which was not possible in any other age. In other ages, you had to perform heavy, difficult austerities, sit in ice, in Himalayas, sit in a very difficult yogic posture, perform sacrifices, which required millions and billions of dollars in today's time just to perform one sacrifice. Perform hundreds of such sacrifices, then you have a chance that you may find God. But in Kali Yuga, even though everything externally is so degraded, one asset is that the Lord is very easily approachable by His holy names. That is why it is said that we should chant. And why? What is the ultimate goal? If we chant successfully and we chant constantly and incessantly in this life itself, at the time of death, antakale cha mam eva, one if mam eva smaran mukta kalevaram. If one who remembers me at the time of death, ya prayati samad bhavam, then he can remember me and attain ya prayati samad bhavam, attain my nature. He goes to my nature, he goes to my abode. You can then be free from this material position. And we can now very easily say that I don't believe, or how can I believe that there's some God has told us all of this? What if it's just somebody's interpretation? What is the proof? Why do I believe all of this? It could might as well be some interpretation, somebody else writing. What is the validity? What's the proof of Vedas? And the simple reason is we can actually apply it in our life and see the results for ourselves. You can chant Hare Krishna for yourself, and over a point of time, you see the results for yourselves. That is why the Vedas are always bona fide, because it can never be proved wrong, because it can be done directly by practical application. Some of the things we may not be able to perceive, we may not be able to directly understand. Like one thing is given in the scriptures that during kirtan, if there is a kirtan going on, supposing you go to a temple and you see kirtan, and if simply in the kirtan you just clap your hands like this, they say that just by clapping your hands, so many sinful reactions are getting destroyed. When we go to palmists, they read our palms and they say that this line is in this way. That's why it indicates that your lifespan will be like this, your marriage will be like this tragedy will come, this opportunity will come by reading your palm. It says that when you clap during kirtan, those lines are erased, and now your life is under the control of Krishna. All of this is given in the scriptures, but we cannot directly perceive it. We will not see physically things happening to us. But over a point of time, you'll say, okay, yeah, actually, I think you'll see the hand of God in everything. You'll see that actually Krishna is in control. Right now we are like dogs. When you throw a bone to a dog, the dog doesn't see, the dog will just see the bone and he'll run behind the bone and he'll start licking and chewing the bone. But when you go to a lion and you throw a bone, he might look at the bone for 1 second, but then he'll look at the person who's thrown the bone. Similarly, like us, right now we are very easily attracted by material nature. Material nature throws one sort of, what do you call it? Some sort of like a carrot or some sort of attraction, allurement, some sort of allurement towards us, and we get distracted. And we say, oh, leave all of this, Hare Krishna thing. I want to go and watch Netflix. I want to go and do this. I want to do that. I want to go to the club. We very easily fall into the trap of Maya. But when over a point of time, when we stick to this chanting, when our heart gets purified, we become like a lion. Now we are not seeing, if there's some tragedy also in our life, we're not seeing the tragedy directly. We're seeing the person behind the tragedy, who is actually controlling it. And we realize we see the hand of God in everything. Even in the bad, we realize there's the hand of God. And we realize even the bad is not actually bad. It's actually done for a reason. That particular bad event might be permanently destroying your ego, your false pride that you had, which is going to benefit you in the long term. So that is maturity, which comes only when we stick consistent. When the child cries to the mother that give me chocolate, mother says no, you can't have it. Now the child doesn't understand. The child thinks, oh, why is my mother so rude? I'm asking for chocolate, it will make me happy, and the mother is standing in the way of my happiness, saying that I can't have chocolate. But when we grow up and we mature, we see that okay, I understand. If I had too much chocolate at night, my teeth would have rotted. So similarly, when we this chanting gives us that spiritual maturity, where we actually are able to then perceive God in our lives. We're able to perceive God and see the hand of God in everything. We see that the we don't see things as just coincidences. Then we realize that no, I've been put in a particular position by the will of Krishna. And then we can finally remember Krishna, which is the main point. Krishna himself tells to Arjuna, he doesn't tell Arjuna to leave the war. He doesn't say stop fighting. He says, remember me and then fight. Which means what? That do this fighting as a service to me. When we remember Krishna and we perform our activities, that activity becomes devotional service. It does not become for our own need. Nobody, Krishna is never telling you don't earn, don't have a family, don't look after your kids, don't look after your personal life. He's saying all of that, but the center and the entire objective should be Krishna, for Krishna. And that maturity, that understanding will only come when we stick to the chanting of the Mahak Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Over a point of time, we will develop that humility when we realize or right now we have all of these anarthas, these unwanted things, this pride, this lust, this anger, this greed. We have all of the things, but we don't even recognize it. We are just playing along with it. Over a point of time, you will recognize that, oh my God, I have so much pride and ego in my heart, which is causing so much misery. When you realize this, then your chanting will be in a different mood. It will be in a mood of prayer that please, Krishna, help me rid my heart of all this. When you see what purity actually feels like, then you want to run away from impurities. You want to clean yourself of the impurities. Initially, when Prabhupada used to tell people that you have to follow the regulative principles, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, when you have to do all of that, then only you can chant properly. The people actually were like, oh, I can't do without all of this. This is like part of my daily. They were like hippies. They used to do all of these things. So they said that it's very difficult. But when they were chanting and they realized what actual purity feels like, when you get the higher taste, then all those these feel like broken pieces of glass. The higher taste is like jewels, shining jewels, and these are like broken pieces of glass. And then you'll naturally be unattracted towards these things. So the first and very step is Shravana, listening. You come to Bhagavad Gita class, you listen about the glories of the Lord, listen about the instructions of the Lord, and then is Kirtanam by chanting. And then we can reach to the stage of Vishnu Smaranam. Then we can remember the form of Krishna in any aspect of our life. We can remember Krishna throughout our life. Remembering Krishna is actually loving Krishna. And when we do that, then we feel the fulfillment. then we are not even bothered about being free or being, in the Shikshashtakam is given, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. When we chant and we get that higher taste, you'll reach a point where you're not really bothered or affected by having too much wealth, having a beautiful partner, having a large number of followers. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Um, I just want your loving devotional service. That is the best state to be in. And when somebody is humble, in a humble state of mind, Trinad api sunichena, as humble as a blade of grass, Taror api sahishnuna, as tolerant as a tree, Amanina manadena, giving respects to everybody and not expecting respect in return, having no faults, doing things selflessly, not having some expectation. I'm doing something good for you, I want you to remember it your whole life. No, unconditional service, unconditional respect. Then Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Then constantly he will be able to chant in the pure state of mind. So that is our aim. So it's already 8 o'clock. We'll end the class here. Does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything like that? Anything that went up of your head? Okay, I think that's all right. So let me just end the recording. Thank you so much for